Hi, my name is Anne, and this is a video about um, me helping a friend get off of an SSRI and the first 2 weeks of doing so. As I make the video, you're going to see my eyes moving down to the screen, reading some notes that I have, because I do not have a big enough brain to remember everything that happened and what day it happened on. Um, So my friend started his SSRI reduction 5 months ago. He was on 20 milligrams. He went down to 15, then 10, 5, and then finally 0. This video is not about the journey of him reducing his meds over 5 months. This video is about the first 2 weeks of him going off the meds completely and what it was like. Hell. What I'm going to do through the video is I'm going to take it one day at a time and go through the different symptoms that he was feeling each day. At the end of the video, I've added some helpful tips that he found useful and hopefully will help someone else out there too. For the first 12 hours of being SSRI free, he actually felt fine. He felt great. By that evening, symptoms started rolling in and he was starting to feel pretty bad. He had very vivid dreams. So from the evening of the first day through day 4, he had very strong symptoms. Some of the symptoms he was experiencing were light sensitivity and smell sensitivity and sounds. Could not handle any sounds. And very dizzy. Day 2 was a repeat of the same thing. All day long, felt horrible, only it started immediately in the morning and lasted all day. On day 3, he woke up with extreme sensitivities with smell, taste, and hearing, and eyes, sight. By early afternoon, he thought he was going to throw up. He didn't actually throw up, but he felt like he was definitely going to. By that evening on day 3, he was on the bed crying, I mean sobbing, and pulling at his head. When I looked in on him, it looked like he was pulling his hair out. He said his head felt bloated, and he was having really bad brain zaps. He said that he had extreme dizziness when he moved his eyes, and it also made his stomach very nauseous. He couldn't mentally focus. Imagine that. Can't mentally focus with these symptoms. And parts of his body felt unattached, like his arms, specifically for him. On day 4, it was the same thing. Starting on day 5, things seemed to taper off just a little bit. He woke up feeling a bit better, but by the evening, he was in bed with the blankets over his head so he couldn't see anything, he couldn't hear, he couldn't smell anything because everything was so sensitive. And on day 5, we noticed that things weren't always, his symptoms weren't always there. They would leave and come in like waves, but when they came, it was like a huge wave, and bam, it was big. We found day 5 and 6 was the same as 1 through 4, but it was less intense and more in the waves that I was just talking about. On day 7, there was actually light at the end of the tunnel, and his sensitivities were greatly reduced. On day 8, he noticed he was starting to feel slightly depressed, and his dizziness would come and go. His stomach was upset, and we noticed it tended to happen more so after he ate. Sounds were still bothersome to him. On day 9, along with the other symptoms, he felt unnaturally depressed. By day 10, he felt overwhelming sadness. He described it as a deep sorrow. He said it definitely felt med-related. And then finally, on day 10, our big celebration was that he was able to move his eyes without getting dizzy. On day 11, he woke up and he had wet the bed the night before. He was a little embarrassed, poor guy. His face felt hot, like it was burning. His lip on and off would feel numb, and his head hurt in various places. And he said that his head felt bloated and fuzzy. On day 12, he did sleep better, but it was still very broken up, and his stomach was still bothering him quite a bit. On day 13, he had 2 bad panic attacks in the morning. This is why he went on the SSRI in the first place, is to help control his panic attacks. And his depth perception was off quite a bit that day, and his depression was getting deeper. On day 14, the last day of the first 2 weeks, he had terrible ligament pain on and off in one of his legs. So that's days 1 through 14. And now I want to go over some of the overall symptoms that he felt. One was severe sleep disturbance. We're actually on day 16 today while I'm making this video, and he still cannot sleep well. And I think the most he slept was 4 hours at a time, and it was very broken up during the 4 hours. And throughout it all, he felt like his head was bloated. Often he would feel hot on the outside while freezing on the inside. And constant stomach ache, more so after eating. Now, some of the things that we found helpful, we planned on him taking the final step of getting off of the SSRI during 2 weeks when we had absolutely no appointments whatsoever. That was a very smart thing. I highly recommend you doing that. Especially the first week is hell. The second week is less so, but it's still not comfortable. If possible, don't do this alone. Have someone there with you, friend, family, especially the first week. Don't be alone. It gets pretty bad, and it's nice to have someone there to help you out. Another thing that is helpful is to let your friends and family know what you're planning and when. That you might be out of commission for a few days. You won't be able to answer the phone or answer email. But as soon as you are feeling well, you will get in contact with them to let them know that you're okay. If the sound of the phone bothers you, unplug the bloody thing. And before stopping your meds, stock up on food for at least 1 week's worth. Drink lots of water, more than the usual amount. And sleep. My friend found sleeping when he could helped a lot. Sometimes it was a 2-hour nap in the middle of the day. That helped. So if you feel the need to sleep and you're able to do it, take advantage of it. When your head starts to feel like it's bloated or you're having brain zaps, have someone massage your scalp. That really helped my friend out a lot. I would massage him at the stem right here, right there. And then also at the top of his head here, and then the temples here. And that not only would help give him relief from the bloated feeling and from the brain zaps, it also helped him with his nauseousness. Bonus. And the most important thing is just don't plan anything. Low activity. I plan on making another video in another couple of weeks because I did not see anything out there at all about what it's like after the first 2 weeks. And this is day 16 when I'm making the video, and he is still having quite a few symptoms on and off. So look for that video in the future, and please feel free to make comments. And after your 2 weeks, Come back, write what helped, what didn't help, what worked for you. We would love to hear from you. Thanks, and hope to hear from you. Bye.